Yeah, that's all it's not.
Is it ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, it is 12:30. We'll go and call this a special call meeting to order on June 3rd. We don't have any first call to order, and then we have the agenda item number 2, verification of compliance with open meetings law. This is certified that the provisions of section 551.001 of the Texas Government Code have been met in the connection with public notice of this meeting. And we do not have anyone for public forum. So we'll move to agenda item number 4. Mr. Reyes, a discussion of request of approval to hire principals for Bush Elementary, San Jacinto Junior High, Midland, Freshman High School, and then Midland High School. Thank you.
Thank you, President Bishop, Dr. Howard, members of the board. This afternoon, I would like to present 4 personnel for recommendation. So at this time, I would like to kindly ask that they join me at the podium. First notable mention will be for Miss Melanie Hall. She had a 15-year anniversary for pre-planning, so she could not be here today. So if you please accept this. So I'll go ahead and proceed. So Ms. Melanie Hall will be recommended for the principal at Midland Freshman High School. Ms. Hall has 11 years of teaching experience and 5 years of administrative experience. She currently serves as an assistant principal at Legacy High School. Ms. Hall believes in setting high expectations for students and staff. She will provide a safe environment for students to thrive, and she builds positive relationships with community, students, and staff members. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Douglas Kelly Doster. I believe you go by Kelly, is that correct? Yes, sir. Thank you. So Mr. Doster is the recommendation for the principal at Bush Elementary School. He's been a classroom teacher, a coach, an assistant principal at several different school districts in Texas, and has previously served as a program director at Odessa College. He has 23 years of experience in education, including 5 as an administrator. He is currently an assistant principal in Center Point ISD, where he served all campuses, including elementary and secondary. He has a strength in communication and building relationships with students and staff, as well as improving parent engagement on his campuses. The interview committee is confident that he will build upon the success that Bush has had and will continue to grow the campus. The interview committee is confident that he will build upon the successes that Bush has had and will continue to grow. Next, we have Ms. Laura Miller. So Ms. Miller will be recommended for principal at San Jacinto Junior High. Ms. Miller has 5 years of teaching experience and 8 years of administrative experience, serving as a head principal for 2 years. She currently serves as the assistant principal at Andrews Middle School. She brings experience working with middle school students and possesses abilities to create strong structures to ensure student success. And to successfully build positive relationships with staff, students, and community. Next up, we have Dr. Michelle Klein. Dr. Michelle Klein will be recommended for the principal at Midland High School. Dr. Klein is finishing up 27 years in education. She has served as a teacher, assistant principal, superintendent, and currently as associate principal at Midland High School. In 2021, she was named Superintendent of the Year, PASS's 2022 Inspiring Leader in Education, served on the 2022 Milligan Superintendent Panel, and featured in TASS's bragging rights publications in both 2017 and 2020. Her strong curriculum background and focus on professional learning communities will ensure student success. And with that, I'd like to propose submit our recommendations and seek your approval for.
The chair entertains a motion. Mr. Booker made the motion. Mr. Marcus second. All those in favor by raising your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you and welcome.
Yeah, some of it just come around. We'll let y'all come around and shake hands and everything, because we're a smaller group and a short meeting. We're gonna
Yes. Yeah, it'll be great. So, questions? Okay.
Brian.
Thanks for coming up. They are. Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. Oh, thank you. Whichever way is easier.
We're going to start with Dr. Klein. Dr. Klein, first, I'd like for you to say a few words, and then we'll go with Ms. Miller, and then end with
Well, I just want to thank you all, especially the Midland ISD board, for your support. Here we are again, Midland freshmen to Midland High School, but Midland High School has felt like my home for 2 years now, and I never dreamt that Dr. Seibert would be parting. She's been absolutely amazing to work for. She's left it in good shape. We're going to be working on strengthening the core values that are already in place with our safe discipline practices that are already going, our engaged parental involvement that is going. So I look forward to continuing that, and also working very closely with Melanie Hall at Midland Freshman. She and I have grown to be great friends along the way, so it'll be a good partnership from Midland Freshman to Midland High School. So I really appreciate the trust that y'all have. Thank you.
So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited to hit the ground running and get things going, and work with the staff on building relationships with our students over at SJ. I just want to say thank you for trusting that I will work hard and do a great job for you guys. And I'm ready to get going.
Again, I want to echo the thanks and appreciation for this board, this group of people that trust us with probably the greatest commodity in this community, the students. I look so forward to getting in there and getting involved at Bush Elementary, building the relationships, ensuring a smooth transition of leadership there, and working with that staff and the students and the parents of that community to build enthusiasm to support Bush and MISD's mission, vision, and strategic plans. I'm just really ready to hit the ground running, and thank you guys. I'm so excited to be part of Midland ISD.
Thank you. We'll move to agenda items 4B. Discussion and possible adoption of the board resolution regarding legislative priorities for the 89th legislative session. Okay.
Yes, sir. President Bishop, members of the board, and Dr. Howard, as you know, it's been standard practice in MISD to look forward to legislative sessions and to propose a list of priorities to share with our local legislators as we prepare for those sessions. And so our administrative team has drafted this resolution for your consideration today. This resolution focuses on just two areas: funding for public schools. Specifically, it includes provisions that would allow for funding based on average daily enrollment as opposed to average daily attendance, to provide for full pre-K funding, and to cover the cost of previously mandated safety and security measures which were passed in the 88th legislature. It also secondarily asks for the state to consider reducing the reliance on standardized testing, specifically the STAR test, promoting local flexibility and ensuring timely release and accountability standards, which was the problem we faced just last year with STAR and the accountability handbook. And so the proposed resolution is in your board packet for consideration, and it would be my recommendation that you consider adoption of this resolution so that we may share it with state organizations that promote public education and also with our local legislators as they prepare for the ABM session.
I move. Mr. Marcus made the motion to move. And Ms. Joyner second. All those in favor, vote raise your right hand. Unanimous. Oh, excuse me, all those opposed? We have, Mr. Booker, Mr. Murray, Ms. Joyner, Mr. Bishop, Ms. Burleson, and Mr. Marquez 4. And we have one opposed, Mr. Hodges.
Chairman, I'd like to ask, but I've got a question on the moving, that I'd like to ask Chad, or you can ask Chad, on moving from average daily attendance to average daily enrollment, and where that math came from, because I've got some questions on that.
I can speak to that, I think.
I would like, Chad, if you could speak to it.
You mean to speak to average daily enrollment versus average daily attendance?
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to speak to it, but I don't know that that's necessarily my wheelhouse. I will tell you that average daily enrollment would provide, we believe, a more stable funding source for us that wouldn't rely on the day-to-day variances of students being in and out of school for various reasons, both excused and unexcused. And so I think that Midland ISD is not the only district in this state. There's a lot of districts that are proposing ADE as a more fair and equitable way to provide funding for us.
And we have to
Yeah.
staff for enrollment.
I was just wondering if we'd consider, because it seems like with our average daily attendance, so when you go for an enrollment, rough numbers, 28,000 for MISD, 25,000 average daily attendance. If we change that from attendance to enrollment, it seems as though the math that we worked at, because I was down in Austin last week too, and because these are TASB talking points, but so it looks like it's going to probably benefit the large urban-sized districts with lower attendance rate than it will medium-sized districts, because we're what, like at an 87 or 90% attendance, like ours is pretty,
92.4.
ours is pretty good. So it'll actually be a wash if we move to enrollment here instead of attendance. And then we find that it's probably not going to coincide with state law with the money like having to follow the student. Because if you've got 28,000 students, you move to enrollment, we're not going to change the state law that allows it to just not follow the student anymore. So you'd have to put it into an escrow account if you've got 3,000 students that aren't there. And then it also assumes you're going to give more, you're going to have more pieces of the pie going out, but you're going to have smaller pieces of the pie going to it. So you're making assumptions that the state legislature is either going to find an extra couple $2 billion to go out to the 1,100 districts across the state, which is probably unlikely. Or if you keep the allotment, I think it's at 6,600 per pupil. Well, if you give it to more people, then your allotment per pupil is going to go down just based on the math on it. So there are some negative consequences that I do not believe have been looked at fully from the math side on moving from daily attendance to daily enrollment. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm all about funding the unfunded mandates from the state that it says on, but moving the entire funding process over without having more direction on how much the actual dollar amount is we need funding in Midland, and then changing the entire formula could be, I believe, based on the math that we did, it's going to have a negative or a net wash probably for a district our size, but it'll help out like your Dallas IPs, your Houston, some different things. It could help them out, but they have like 70% attendance anyway.
So just to explain average daily enrollment versus average daily attendance, right now the state funds us based on average daily attendance. So they have to be prepared for us to have 100% attendance. So the amount of money that they would send to Midland ISD if every student showed up every day, which is what we have to be prepared for from a staffing perspective, resources perspective, they actually only send the money based on average daily attendance. We still have to be staffed for those students, prepared for those students, run buses as if they're going to get on the bus that day. And so average daily enrollment is a direction that many districts across the state have asked for. There has been some confusion at the state level, it seems like, that they think we're asking them to hold us harmless if we lose enrollment. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking for, when we have this many kids enrolled on a given day, we would be funded for that many kids on that day. Just like right now, they only fund us based on the average daily attendance, what that percent of students who are actually in our seats on that given day versus in the day. So I can't speak to what they're gonna do with the escrow accounts and things such as that, as, you know, if vouchers are approved. But the average daily enrollment would benefit districts versus average daily attendance.
It'll benefit some districts.
Well, we're
not all
here to
districts.
represent our district.
And it will
so
not benefit us based
I
on
think
that.
I think the rest of the board voted that it would.
Again, I'm not arguing, I just wanted
I
to
understand,
question.
but the motion passed.
still have a right to give my opinion. Thank you.
Do we need a, agenda item number 5, we need a motion to adjourn at 12:45.
I motion to
Second.
Ms. Jordan made the motion, Mr. Hodges, second, all those in favor by raising your right hand.